Turkish Airlines je glavna turska aviokompanija. Glavno sjedište je na međunarodnom aerodromu Ataturk u Istanbulu. Sa svojom flotom od preko 200 aviona lete prema 244 destinacije, po čemu su četvrta najveća aviokompanija u svijetu. Ostala sjedišta su Esenboğa International Airport Ankara i Sabiha Gökçen International Airport u Istanbulu. Ova kompanija u našoj zemlji uspješno posluje već 18 godina. Iz Sarajeva je omogućila redovne letove za Istanbul i zahvaljujući ovoj kompaniji svakodnevno imamo veliki broj turista iz Turske u našoj zemlji. Direktor ove kompanije u Bosni i Hercegovini je Ahmet Salih Kansu, porijeklom iz Turske, sada živi i radi u Bosni i Hercegovini. Mr. Kansu, how long are you in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
In these coming days, it is going to be almost 5 years.
Tell us something about your education. Where did you study and where did you get your education?
Firstly, I studied my, let's say, first university degree in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, as international relations. And later on, I finished management, business administration in Turkey as well.
So I have to ask you, education in Kuala Lumpur and then Sarajevo. What was the thing to say, okay, after Kuala Lumpur and Turkey, I'm going to come to Sarajevo? Why Sarajevo?
Okay. First of all, I am working in Turkish Airlines. Of course, I am not determining where to work. They are appointing me. Let's say I am in Turkish Airlines almost for 10 years. Around 2 years I worked in our headquarters in Istanbul, which is beside Istanbul Ataturk Airport. After that they appointed me to Egypt and I worked there almost 2.5 years. After that I worked also a long period in Khartoum, capital city of Sudan. And later on I have been appointed to Sarajevo. As far as I know, our headquarters is trying to train us, to give us more knowledge, training in different destinations, maybe first in our headquarters, and then little by little they are appointing us to different destinations. So as a result, I mean, now for 5 years I am here. That's it.
After all these destinations, how would you rate Sarajevo? How do you like the Sarajevo? How do you like the people here, the culture, the mentality, the food?
Probably you heard about it. I mean, my grandfathers, most of my grandfathers and mothers, they are also Boshnak originated. They migrated from Sanjak area in last days of Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian Kralevina Yugoslavia period. I have even some relatives, actually many houses here in Sarajevo as well. And it is my destiny that somehow I got married from here. My wife is from Sarajevo. Because of that, Bosna and Sarajevo is something more than my working place. I like it a lot and I am really happy if Bosnia is facing, let's say, with good days development.
So
these are my
great
feelings.
circle and then came back to Bosnia. Do you speak any Bosnish or Bosnian?
A little bit. Tarzanski, govorim tarzanski, bosanski.
Okay, it will come.
I couldn't study yet grammar, so because of that, I don't. I don't speak. I don't prefer speaking Bosnian. But maybe in later years, probably we can do one more interview in Bosnian.
Of course, I'm sure it will come. So, what is, according to your estimate, the number of Bosnians in Turkey?
Related to Bosnian originated people like me, they have their own foundations, derneks we call it. They feel that their number is approximately like 4 or 5 million. Some of them are, let's say, from both sides, father and mother sides, are Boshnak originated. Some of them are only from mother side or only from father side. Some of them can speak archaic Bosnian. especially tetkas, nenas, dedos. Some of them maybe they don't know even, and some of them they can speak little bit like me, Tarzanski, Bosanski.
Tarzanski. Okay. Do you ever miss Istanbul? Do you miss Turkey? I know you are very often going to Turkey because of your job, but do you miss your life in Istanbul?
As you said, because of our job, generally we can go. But sometimes, let's say, if we cannot go, let's say like maybe 2-3 months, in that case, of course, we miss, especially Istanbul, since I am from Istanbul.
I'm sure it is. Okay, so in the next minutes, in the next time, we're going to speak about the huge, big company, Turkish Airlines. The company is the main Turkish airline company, and it's among the leading company, one of the leading companies in the world. On which place is your company in the world, and on which place is it in Europe?
As you know, Istanbul has very unique, very important geostrategic position, which is very near to Europe. Also very near to ex-Soviet Union, Russian, let's say, countries, Black Sea, Marmara Sea, Aegean Sea, Mediterranean region, and also Middle East. So because of this lovely geostrategic position, Turkish Airlines developed in last years with its quality and with, let's say, using this wonderful location. What I can tell related to our position in Europe, generally our headquarter, our company is targeting to be like leading European, one of the leading European airlines because of our being near to Europe more, and also one of the leading airlines in the world. But first target is related to Europe. So what we got in last year, starting from 2009, 10, 11, 12, we got, even last year, 2013, we got many prizes, awards. There is one prize which is called Skytrax awards in this airline sector. They give either for economy catering, business catering, or generally in overall evaluation. Turkish Airlines got many times in a row prize of or award of, let's say, best airline in Southern Europe, best airline in Europe, in all these terms. So, but if you ask me related to our size, I can give you some other info. At the moment we have 241 airplanes. Some of them are Boeing, some of them are Airbuses.
Flying just with the best.
Thank you. Generally, we don't have little airplanes because, I mean, we are flying to many destinations. Let me mention that one as well. At the moment, we have 42 domestic destinations in Turkey, which is not little, and 202 destinations in outside of Turkey, so altogether 244 destinations. Of course, if you have all these destinations, means you are increasing your passengers. You can imagine size of Turkey with this big fleet, number of airplanes, number of destinations. If you want, we can speak later about our size in Bosnian market as well.
Of course, we will. We heard, or I heard something very interesting. You started, or you will soon start to fly from the Asian part of Istanbul. When is this going to happen?
Thank you for this question. As you know, Istanbul is very huge. It has huge population, almost 15 million. So Istanbul is like two divisions, European and Asian. In last years, we have another airport which is called Sabiha Gökçen in Asian part of Istanbul. So firstly, in this coming May, 2nd May, will be our first flight from Sabiha Gökçen to Sarajevo. It will be something new for Bosnian market. And we will have 3 flights weekly, every Wednesday and Fridays, a little bit, let's say, before noon time. not to be so much early for Turkish people. And then third day will be Sunday, and it will be around like 5 o'clock. So they could easily come and go back, and same story for Bosnians. It will be some new segment and new product for us.
So those are great news.
Thank you.
Your company has been founded in 1933, long years ago. What was the way of development of this really huge giant?
As you said, when it has been set up as a governmental institution in 1933, it had only 5 little airplanes. Little by little, based on development of the country, Turkey, economically, politically, and getting its own stability, especially after 60s, 70s, but as everyone feels, especially after 2000, let's say maybe 2007, Turkish Airlines started to show itself as a leading or one of the leading airlines in its region, and then little by little in Europe, as we spoke, even in last years globally. So as a result, opening new destinations, not only in countries near to Turkey, even in Africa, even really Far East countries. Sometimes, let's say, inside of Europe, let's say, for example, namely in Germany, we have more than 10 destinations. Depending on our traffic demand, almost every year Turkish Airlines opened and still opening between 5 to 10 new destinations. So all these things means you are getting new millions and millions passengers, and also Turkish Airlines made very nice agreements, commercial agreements, partnership with other airlines, and also because of these agreements we showed our quality and we got more and more passengers.
Turks are traveling very much. It's just in your culture that you like to travel. Is this also an issue, or does that also influence the way of developing this really great and big company?
Why not? Maybe one of the factors which led to development of Turkish Airlines. Maybe let's say after Turkey gets its socio-economical stability more and more in last years, so people also started to hang around in the world, and especially in Balkan area, in Middle East, in Central Asia, which we have many historical and cultural roots and traditions, let's say. But I think not only that one, there are many other reasons. If you want, I can talk about it as well.
Turks are today like at the first or at the second place by number of coming to Bosnia and Herzegovina. How did this happen? Maybe
of course,
because of the roots?
Yeah. There are many reasons. First of all, we have long common history between Bosnians and Turks, starting from Middle Ages. I am sure it is one of the most significant factors which led to this result. But not only that one, Istanbul, Antalya, Bodrum, or generally Turkey, we have many, touristic places. As you know, Istanbul was capital city of 2 empires, Greek, Rome, Byzantine, and Ottoman. And in last days, Turkey has its own production power. Many Balkan companies, businessmen, are visiting Turkey to buy goods or to make agreements with companies. And people are visiting generally for many reasons. But maybe one of the reasons why Turks started to visit Bosnia, as you said, more and more, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is Turkish Airlines, because Turkish Airlines is like bridge between world and Bosnia, but throughout Istanbul. Since our headquarters, our hub is in Istanbul, not only for Turks, for foreigners also. As you know, because of diplomatic missions in Bosnia, I mean, before it was more. Maybe in last years it is getting less and less. So foreigners and Turks, they are generally visiting Bosnia with Turkish Airlines, because we have really good destinations everywhere in the world.
Can you now explain us the way of becoming a member of the Turkish Airlines crew? Maybe tell us something about how you train your staff.
Generally, as staff, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Our headquarters is somehow accepting, let's say, requests for Turks, and then they make interviews. If they like applicants, they give them some chances, maybe for a little period, like testing period. And if they are satisfied, they give them chance to work with company in different departments of company, marketing, sales, techniques, maybe as cabin crew, as you said, captains, stewardess, and many other departments. But if you are asking me about our, let's say, human resource strategy in outside of Turkey, for example, locally here in Bosnia, it is up to us if we need someone to hire, to appoint. We generally try to find either from those human resource sites, local sites, or throughout our relations. We are asking people whom we know from locals, we need someone like this, so they are sending us some offers and we invite them. We try to choose best ones, and generally if people start working with us, they are satisfied because we are a stable company.
So it is possible, for example, for a girl or a boy from Bosnia and Herzegovina to become staff and member of the Turkish Airlines. For example, a girl would like to be a stewardess on a Turkish Airlines plane or on the crew. It's possible to do that.
As far as I know, generally, in last years, maybe in last 5 years, there are some limited number of captains. But as I know, there are no cabin crew. What I mean by that, I mean stewardess or hostesses are all Turks. Okay. And another thing, we as managers in outside of Turkey, we don't have any authority to appoint anyone from non-Turks for our headquarters. Okay. We have only limited authority to choose people for our needs to work here with us.
I understand. You also have a great academy. Tell us something more about it.
Okay. As far as I know, Turkish Airlines is one of the, let's say, a few airlines which have their own academy, as you said. In our academy, there are certain courses and trainings which are licensed by IATA, International Air Transportation Association, either related to reservation, sales, marketing, or some more technical operational things related to handling, technicians, and other things. I mean, generally everything related to our sector, aviation sector. And our academy is not only serving to our staff. Many agencies, travel agencies, many, let's say, companies which are dealing for handling in airports in different countries, they are also getting these services from Turkish Airlines Academy in Istanbul, which is inside of Istanbul Atatürk Airport.
How do you take care? What is the way of controlling plane and guaranteeing that the plane is technically correct and it can fly? or go to the sky?
Okay, first of all, me myself, I am not, let's say, technician, but
Okay.
I can tell you something general. Since safety is first in many sectors, and in our airline industry, it is maybe more important, more sensitive than other sectors. Airplanes are checked, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row before flights. First by technicians when it is on ground, and also it is checked again at least 3 times. All those buttons in cabins, which we see sometimes in movies, by captains, all those buttons are, let's say, used maybe a few times, not to give any chance to face by any problem. If they are suspicious, if they are not sure about something, even something little, they say we have to fix it, and they say sorry from passengers. Maybe they wait a little bit, and until fixing that problem, they operate.
For example, when low-cost companies appeared, it has offered, or they offer, some cheaper flights. Are you then forced to prepare your flights to some cheaper offers, or is your policy of like the flights the same, or do you then make some other offers for your clients? Or
Okay. Can I tell you a little bit more general about, let's say, differences between big national flag carriers like Turkish Airlines, which are huge structures, and low-cost airlines? For example, generally, low-cost airlines are charging their passengers even for water, even for coffee, even for tea, any kind of drink, even for sandwich or any kind of food. They are charging them, but national carriers are not charging them. When you pay, everything is included. Another thing, let's say generally in national flag carriers like Turkish Airlines, we are more tolerant than low-cost carriers in terms of some maybe baggage allowance. But as far as we heard, as far as we follow from media, generally everywhere in the world, low-cost carriers are giving their passengers less kilogram allowances, let's say free of charge. But if let's say if you have a little bit more, a few kilograms, then they charge you. But generally we, for example, we are more tolerant in that. And another thing, let's say if there are some certain problems like flight cancellation, or maybe problems related to some groups for agencies, whatever. Generally, most of low-cost carriers, they don't have representatives which have authority to solve those problems fastly. But national flag carriers like Turkish Airlines, we have our offices everywhere, one in city and one in airport. So if there is any problem, we are there to solve those problems. But after all these differences, at the end it is choice of passenger, and we respect them. Of course, low-cost carriers prices are lower than generally national carriers. But sometimes, especially maybe sometimes even in summer, when it is like peak period, when everyone is flying, since low-cost carriers, let's say flights are less, but we have more flights. In that case, we can even give sometimes less prices than them, especially for groups, for agencies.
That was actually my next question. What is the price policy in general? How it is possible, or why is the ticket always cheaper? For example, I'm flying in June and I'm buying the ticket in April. How comes that the ticket is always cheaper if you buy it 3 months before?
Maybe generally it is true. If you buy, not necessary to be 3 months, sometimes you can even find some cheap tickets before 1 month, but sometimes even you cannot find before 3 months. Let's say if you are looking for a ticket for a certain really rush day, for example, for Sarajevo, for Istanbul, for Bosnia, Ayvatovica days, which are very popular among Turks. Many people would like to come here. Or if there is any kind of occasion here in Sarajevo, Mostar, which Turks are interested. In that case, thousands of Turks would like to come here within a few days. So they cannot find, of course, places. In that case, if there are some certain number of places, of course, they are expensive. So if you, as passenger, insist to buy for those days, you can even find sometimes, let's say, prices around 350, 400 euros. But when it is, for example, in winter, during last 4 years, we are always making like promotions, winter promotions, almost during all winter, and it is going to be like 99 euro if you buy it from internet. Okay. But if you ask me, let's say our like average prices, I can tell that these are like general info. In winter, our standard average prices are around maybe 230, 50, 60 euros around. But in summer, it can be even a little bit more than 300, depending. So as a result, our job is very similar to stock exchange. If airplane is almost full for the date which you want to fly, probably you get, unfortunately, expensive price. But if it is almost empty, then you can get really friendly prices.
Okay, that's a good secret to know. Let's help the Bosnians. When can they buy the cheapest ticket to Istanbul?
It is sure first during winter.
Okay.
What we are doing, if Bosnians, our customers, would like to get all these informations personally and directly to them, they can easily come to our office in Sarajevo, Branilaca Sarajevo, broj 3. We are opposite of Centralni Zatvor and very near to BBI. If they could visit us and if they can give us their emails, monthly we can send them our newsletters and we can share all these info to their emails, because these are very micro promotions. We cannot make TV, radio or printed media reclams. The only way which we can inform either personally or newsletters.
Advertising, how important is it? You have always really very good advertising.
Thank you.
Kobe, my friend Messi here in front of me, I think Wozniacki, if I can remember correct. And you are also the general sponsor of Barcelona, if I'm right. They never put anyone other brand except your brand. How did you succeed to do something like that?
As you know, doing reclams or sponsorship with famous people is called celebrity endorsement.
Okay.
In last years, marketing gurus, management gurus, advertisement specialists, they believe that it is very important if you can do your global reclams, your global branding with those famous people. This is number one. Another thing is sport is very friendly, like peaceful language in a world which has many regional and global problems. So Turkish Airlines combine these two ideas. Let's say positive effect of sport and positive effect of celebrity people. As far as I remember, Turkish Airlines started its global branding campaigns with famous people in 2000, let's say like 6, with Hollywood star Kevin Costner. In that time, if you remember, almost like 2 years, we had a slogan in our reclam videos with Kevin Costner, "Feel like a star." In that time, there was no any guy, any person who is famous sportist. After that, there was a lady who is Caroline Wozniacki, and almost like 4 years, 3 years I think, we work with her as a famous tennis player, and after her, Barcelona, Manchester as football teams, and mainly in last 1 year we finished with Barcelona and Manchester. We are no more their sponsors, but we are continuing with Messi just as person. But we have one more person who is from basketball world, Kobe Bryant. So for almost 2 years with Kobe Bryant and Messi we are continuing. Since some people maybe like basketball more than football, so all these people, Kevin Costner, Caroline Wozniacki, Kobe Bryant, Lionel Messi as persons, and also as football teams, Barcelona, Manchester. We forgot one more event. If you remember, like 2 years ago, Turkish Airlines was also main sponsor for Euro Basketball League also. So as a result, all these campaigns, which are a combination of sport, the different sports, and let's say famous people, celebrities, in my opinion, generally, globally in the world, and especially in Balkan, which sport is very popular, football and basketball, probably among men, I guess, but as far as I know, you ladies also, you are following. I think it was really good strategy, and we saw its results. Turkish Airlines is getting more and more known and popular among people.
Another thing is the foods in Turkish Airlines. This is really a thing that a lot of people who is flying with Turkish Airlines are like pointing, the food is really good. What is important regarding this segment? What is the point and what is the thing that you are paying attention the most when the foods, when we talk about the food on your planes and on your flights?
As I told you just a few minutes ago, Turkish Airlines got in a row, let's say, Skytrax awards in economy catering and in business catering as well. Turkish Airlines has its own catering unit in Istanbul, which is inside of airport, Atatürk Airport. First of all, everything is very fresh. And what is their mentality? Many airlines, even national flag carriers, famous airlines, are giving only some sandwiches and some salads to their passengers. Even for like 2-3 hours flights, like Istanbul flights, we are not giving sandwich or salads. We are trying to give something more strong food and something more classical food, let's say. We have rice, we have some classical meat food with vegetable. And most of these foods are familiar with your Bosnian cuisine as well. And many of our customers, passengers, they positively get shocked, especially when they fly after Istanbul to some long destination like US, Far East, Central Asia, Middle East. Since they see better and better foods with us, they really like it. And I would like you to try, Emina.
I tried the olives.
We will
and
invite
the cheese.
you
It's
to
great.
one of our...
Thank you so much, Mr. Consul. Thank you so much for being our guest. It was our great pleasure. Wish you all the best in your private life and, of course, in your career. And all the best in Sarajevo.
Thank you very much.